Hey, hello everybody, Hugsy Arts here, and I just wanted to come on and do a quick caricature with you, just to stay relevant. So there's no particular message in this video. I just want to get back into caricature myself. I've been working hard with my job recently, and also delving in a bit of the world of watercolour, and kind of took my eye off the ball a bit with caricature. So I'm trying to get back into it a little bit. I think I've got a few weddings booked, and still got lots of people asking me, will I do them a caricature, which I've got a few to do. Yeah, so I just want to sort of brush the dust off and try and get my eye back in the game. So got a picture of this lady here, and we're going to see what we can do, see if I can remember anything. Obviously, I know my last video, I think it was my last video, was the big shapes, where I talked about the big shapes of the head first. So it's kind of sticking with that, only maybe slightly different. I'm just going to start off with a circle, pretty much on all my caricatures at the moment. Because I find when you start with a circle, you can't go wrong with getting the proportions in the right place. So I'll show you what I mean now when I start. But one thing I will say is when you're doing caricature, make the features fit the head shape that you choose. I think that's a really great bit of advice. If you look at them and they've got a long sausage type head, make the features fit that head, and it's going to look like them, because that's the fundamental thing, is the big shape. So if they've got a big round face, make the features fit there. So give them big wide eyes, big wide smile, whatever you think suitable. Make them fit that shape, and you're on the right track. So let's crack on. Let's crack on with this lady. So looking at the picture straight away, by the way, I haven't had no practice goes on this face. This is just a random, I've just picked it off the site, saved it, and come live. So the first thing I look at when I look at her is obviously that the eyebrows and the eyes and the nose are very prominent. Big wide eyes, quite close set, quite a strong nose. I can see that she sort of had her lip, the top lip done maybe slightly, so I'll probably play with that. In terms of head shape, I think we need to go larger at the top, smaller at the bottom. However, we will be playing with that top lip. I think that's the way to go. The hair looks a bit challenging, to be fair. I think I could have picked an easier one. The hair looks a little bit challenging, but we'll sort of go with the flow. Yeah, so first things first, I like to see how it sits on a page. I think you can have a bad drawing sit nice on a page and look okay, whereas you can have a good drawing sit wrong on the page and look amateurish and naff. So let's work that out. I think I want to start her head about there, and I want to finish her head. Maybe finishing her head about here. Gives me a little bit of room then for a body, which maybe comes down to about there. But that's sort of the page that I want to fill. I don't want to be going off the page or running out of room and squashing things up. That's enough. That's enough. And I don't want it to be too small that you've got all the white page left. So yeah, it's always important to plan where things are going. So head shape, I'm just going to start with a circle, like so, just a rough circle, and then she's going to be sort of facing slightly this way, and they're going to be big eyes, so do the eyes sort of like that there. So that's these lines that I've just done here. So that's sort of the way the direction the face is pointing, and that is where the eyes are going to sit. Okay, and then her nose is going to be sort of here, and we're going to sort of work out what we're going to do with her chin in a minute when we get to it. I think what I want to first do is get these eyes in. So they're big eyes, we're going to play with that, and they're quite close set, so we're going to go for like that sort of shape. And I'm just getting the eye sockets in. So you just imagine like it's a skull, it's the eye sockets. Notice I've gone closer to my line with this one, that's perspective. The nose is going to be sort of prominent, and it sort of swoops quite straight down. It's quite, we can really push that a bit, I think. Push that like so. And we can push these eyebrows a little bit. So because of the big nose and the big eyes, it's kind of, you know, it's not emphasizing the eyes because I've given her a big nose too. So we need to really shrink things up a little bit now for this bottom part. So the mouth, or the top lip, I'm going to want to push again a little bit, but not too much. So we're just going to kind of do that sort of thing there. And then I'm going to give her a little pointy little chin that comes there. And her face is going to swoop back in here. And I think I want to leave that like that. I'm going to come out here for the cheekbones. And her head is obviously not a circle, so we need to be careful here. We don't go up by our line. So we need to bring the hair over there. Like so, and then hair on the other side. Sorry if I'm just mumbling to myself, I'm sort of talking out loud. Let's just get these eyes in. So I'm looking at the lines where the pupils, where the irises are. I'm looking at the angles that the lid cuts into them. So if you imagine you've got a pupil there, well, when the lid's closed, it's going to cut into it somehow. So I'm looking at that, and I'm trying to work out the angle of which the top eyelid sits. So I think for this one we could sort of safely say it's going down. So we're going to swoop. I want it to be cartoony, so I'm going to swoop up like that. I'm going to come down, and then we can get her iris in. And the bottom one definitely goes down. Like so. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, but it does swoop up. So we're just going to do the same sort of shape. And then the eye ball or iris is going to come down there. Like so. Lots of big lidage to play with when we get to it. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. Pop a little fun body on there now. Just see, that's There's a body there. One leg, two leg. One leg, two leg. You know I like to give everybody a drink. So that's one hand. That's the other hand. That's a drink. It's a dress. I don't mean I'm not sure what she's going to wear when she's out. Just pretending she's out at some party. And then we can go ahead and add a neck in. Hair is going to be sort of swooping in some sort of locks. Let's see how we go with that. Let's try and get some ink on the page. Give my nib a little point. I like to just push down so that it develops a little point. See it? It's kind of like a shark's fin. So I get thicker and thinner edges. I'll start off with this part. I don't really like to just mess around with eyebrows too much. I think if you start adding in individual hairs, you run the risk of being a bit too detailed, maybe. I'll just do big black cartoony lines. I'll do. Right, there's the eyes. Sort of the same shadow I put on all my eyes. It's just kind of a trademark thing. Once you do it a few times, it becomes kind of second nature, and I always decided that this is what I like the look of, so that's what I stuck with. The hair is a challenge, I'm not going to lie. Neck. Thicker in there for some shadow. Just get these little fingers in here first. like so. Get some more of those curls coming in the back. Maybe go a bit heavier with the lid edge because it's such a prominent feature. Let's try and add a bit of depth to it now, see if we can get anything to pop. That's it so far. This is actually the wrong neo colour. It's the number 2, which I find they're a little bit too soft, and they don't come on as smooth as the neo colour ones. They seem to melt quicker as well. A little bit of heat and they're pretty much useless. Just putting in some generic shadowing going on now. You see, I don't like the way it covers the ink over. It's very melty. It seems to just come on too thick, and you can't kind of get it right, especially in the summer. Literally just throwing in some darker shades just to mix it up now. We'll do first one in a while. See if we can add just a touch of colour. I like to add just a little bit of colour. Pink usually sits nice, but my daughter has been playing with these and it seems to have gone missing. So the pink nail colour has vanished. So we'll use this one, lemon yellow. What can we colour? I don't think. I suppose we could just do some patterns, maybe. With pink, you could kind of do love hearts and stuff. It sits a bit better. So that's what it looks like. Not sure really. I'll have another look. in a minute when I turn the camera off and see if I've hit or missed. Some darker neil colour here. Could just give it a little bit more poppy depth. Don't seem to be going on much darker though. Who knows? Who knows? Not really getting any benefit out of that. Anyway guys, that's the finished picture. I might do another one in a minute, a different face, and see what we're doing, see if we're on the same track still.